Welcome to my home garage. So we got another project, another problem car. So let's take a look at it first. So it's a 2009 Audi A4 with, of course, a 6-speed manual. And let's just take a look at the car first. So obviously your common spot there and some bubbling here, but it's solid. So everything inside the car seems to work. We're gonna go through it, but let's take a look at the engine bay because it's got a misfire. I drove it all the way home with a misfire. I didn't even realize. I just thought it was running rough, but it's got a cylinder number 2 misfire. So let's tell you how much I paid for this car. $0. Someone gave me this car for free. So you know what they say about free stuff? It's the most expensive stuff ever. So let's open the hood. Okay, so the hood latch is broken, but the cable isn't. All right. Oh, trunk support works. Wonderful. A little bit of surface rust here. Nothing too crazy. Other than that, it's got stiff steering. The steering's super stiff when you turn. And so the steering's super stiff, and it obviously burns oil. We don't know how much oil it burns, but let's take a look. It's got a cylinder number 2 misfire. So I just want to see what it's going to take to repair this misfire. So I'm pretty sure it's 1, 2, 3, 4. As you can see, we do have some oil leaks here. Okay, so I'm not sure where they're coming from, but that's something we'll figure out together after and see if this car is worth fixing. Yeah, this is pretty oily back here. I know that this water pump, there's our fuel line, everything's just pretty much coated in oil. I'm wondering if this line's leaking or the diaphragm's leaking, oil cap or the seal, something's leaking here. So we'll have to figure that out. Both sides just look very oily. It looks like this seal is fine. It actually... So first thing I'm going to do is swap injector 1 and 2. I just want to confirm the misfire is a coil or a spark plug. So let's do that right now. So I'm going to... Give me a second. So right now the first thing we're going to do is just swap a coil. That's all we're going to do. We're going to do it one thing at a time. So that's a 10 mil. Well, I think it's a 10 mil. Put it here. Okay. So it's much like the B7. The clips all just break. What are they hitting on? Well, I guess you go too far back and they... Oh, okay, so... Okay, there we go. So let's just check this one. Okay. Ooh. Let's just look down inside, see how it looks. Okay. Okay, so this one's number 2. So we're going to put this one in number 1 spot. Okay. So let's see if the misfire moves. So make sure you check your connectors. Alright, see how it's coming apart a bit here. Okay. Actually, I would say that the B7's a little bit easier to remove this. Okay. Okay. Okay, we don't want to tighten anything up because we're probably going to have to take everything apart again. But we'll just put this nut so we don't lose it. So now if it's a coil, technically, the misfire will move to this cylinder. So let's go look at our computer. Okay, well, we got cylinder number 2 detected, but originally it was a cylinder number 2 misfire. So just take my word for it. So now we're going to erase these codes. Okay, read codes, should be nothing there. Escape. You got to remember, sometimes when you have a misfire, it can affect the other cylinder, the neighboring cylinder. So don't be surprised. So let's just find okay, cylinder suppression, misfire counter. Where are you? Ignition delay. Here we go. This is all we want to see. So let's just give her. Well, it's still at cylinder number 2. Okay, so it's definitely not a coil. Okay. Okay, so now what we're going to do is... Okay, so we've confirmed that it's not a coil. Doesn't look like it's a coil. So it could be a fouled spark plugs from the oil consumption that this thing has. So we're just going to kind of ease this thing out of here without breaking anything. Same idea. Coil number 2. This coil goes here, and we're going to pull the spark plugs. Okay. My guess is they're all fouled. As you can see, the coil is, let's get a light on there. It's soaked with fuel, so we're going to clean that up. Okay. Let's check cylinder number, the other one. That's technically fine. See how this one looks drier? Either way, I'm going to clean both spark plugs up. You've seen me do this before. Just a brush and some brake clean, get rid of the carbon buildup, see if there's any cracking, and then we'll reinstall them. Okay, the spark plugs are cleaned up pretty good, as best as I could. Okay. Okay, so we're going to put the number 2 spark plug here. And I cleaned out the number 1 spark plug, and we're going to put it here. But I say, why don't we just have a look down in the bore? So I'm going to get my camera, and we're going to look down inside. Okay, so assuming you guys want to see this. So I can control my brightness. So let's take a look down in cylinder number 1 and see what we see, which is a cylinder that wasn't having an issue. Okay, come on, get in there. Adjust my camera. Okay. Ooh, yes, that is an oily cylinder. Well, we gotta remember this cart, 100%. Oh, look at this one. Why is this one so clean? Because it's been dumping fuel. Okay. Look at this one. It's a little wet. So here's what we're gonna do. If we want to see if the injector is dumping fuel, all we gotta do is this. We look at it with the camera. Okay, get in there. Get in there. Okay. And I'm just gonna open the door to the car, and it should prime the pump. And if the injector is leaking, technically you would see it, but I don't think that's the case. So what we're gonna do is, we're gonna blow out the cylinder to get rid of some of that not helping on a dry start, and blow into the cylinder with some air. You can smell the fuel. It's unburned fuel, that's what you're smelling. You can smell it. Because there's no ignition, right? So you're fouling up the entire cylinder. Is just literally, fuel is washing down the So what we could do is we're going to put a drop of oil in the cylinder, and it should help with compression on startup. So we're just going to put a little drop of oil. Let's see. Okay. Okay, and that, we can take a look at that, see if it's working its way down into the cylinder. Okay, and then what I'll do is I'll grab my gun and make sure and that should help the ring seat on the initial start to get this thing. There we go, we got some oil in the cylinder. Perfect. All right, so let's get this out of the way. Now we're gonna find out if it's a coil or a spark plug. Well, we know it's not a coil because we swapped it. So I'm also swapping the spark plug because I just want to make sure that it's not an injector issue. So this would kind of confirm that for us. So what I'm going to do is put the spark plug from number 1 in here. They were way over tightened, but that's okay. All right, so this is technically the bad spark plug, if it is bad. I think it was just fouled. Okay. Unless we have a leaky injector. I kind of doubt that. I think it's just from sitting, too many small starts. It happened on my other A4, and I just cleaned this plugs. Okay, so now we have everything from originally from number 1 in number 2, and everything from number 2 in number 1. So if it's not this, then we're suspecting maybe a leaky injector or a faulty injector, although I doubt it's faulty because you can clearly see that it's been dumping fuel on those cylinders. Okay, so let's just get this all lined up here. Okay. 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 Hopefully it's not an electrical issue. Okay. Okay. Grab our bolt. Okay. So let's go back in the car and see if anything's changed on startup and watch our misfire counter. Could technically just be completely fouled plugs. So let's okay, there we go. So we're back in it again. All right, so we're gonna do trouble codes. Make sure everything's deleted. Nothing yet, because it would be only pending. Live data. Scroll all the way down to the bottom again. Where's our misfire counters? Oh, there they are. Oh. Okay, so let's see what happens. Oh look, cylinder number 1's misfiring now. So I'm suspecting that we have a completely faulty spark plug. So I don't know if we're going to be able to repair this without spark plugs. But let's try this again. Hold on. Oh, now see the misfire move to 1. Okay. Is there any way we can tidy up that spark plug even more? Because we don't want to flood this cylinder. That we do not want to do. We do not want to flood this cylinder up. Is there anything else I could do to clean up that spark plug? We could try. it looks like it needs spark plugs and not a coil. So in my opinion, it needs spark plugs. So let's just pull this coil out. Take that spark plug out again. Take a look at it one more time. See if we can revive it, unless it's cracked from just being fuel dumped on it constantly, which could be the case. Okay, like let's look at that again. This just might be too far gone. Okay, I'm gonna try messing with it. Okay, I cleaned the plug even better. Carb cleaner, everything. Let's see what happens. Let's see if we get lucky. Oh, ho, ho, look at that. No parts required. So what pretty much we have is too much carbon buildup on the spark plugs from the vehicle sitting for way too long. And what you get is fuel drying up there, oil drying up there, cakes the plugs. Pretty common on Audis. So I think now we can go for a road test and see how this thing really drives. So let me turn it off and get it ready to get out of here. I don't think our spark plug is great. We still have let's erase these codes and see. Maybe it was already there from before. Okay, let's see what's misfiring right now. Doesn't feel 100%, but take a look. Let's see under load. These cars only like to misfire when they're under load, so you put it in gear. No misfire. You can hear it stuttering a little bit. Okay. Needs gas. It's low on gas. Alright. So let's see. So it seems to be idling quite nice right now. So I don't know if we just got lucky. Alright guys, so you can see it looks like we should probably still put a set of plugs in it. But what we could really do is put some oil in it, do an oil change, and go over this entire vehicle and see everything that it needs. See where our leaks are coming from. So let's go for... Oh, see that? Look, now it's misfiring. So it looks like our spark plug is getting weak, and at times you can't handle it. So Raj, eventually our misfire counter will reset. So it reaches a point where the counter resets back to 0. Regardless, it's not misfiring now.